not here to talk about scriptures. I'm gonna do that later on tonight. I came on here to talk about prayer. I'm here to talk about prayer. When last did y'all go in y'all room, lock y'all doors, go on your knees, and be in secret with God? When last did y'all do that? When last did y'all have a one-on-one with God? Because people love praying with each other, love being in a group and praying and having meetings with God. That's good because you're praying for people in whole. But I'm talking about in secret. When you go in your room, you lock your door, and you start letting it out to God. You just let it all out. You let your burdens out, things that you're thinking about, just let it all out to God. Just by yourself. You in your room, one-on-one with God. When last did y'all do that? I'm going to encourage you to do that, because that's something the Bible, it's written in the Bible for us to do. That we should pray in secret. We should have a one-on-one relationship with God. Not just having devotion and praise and worship. You got to pray too and fast. And now this is the thing about fasting. I'm learning. I'm learning as I go with this. Right? With fasting. With fasting now, you don't tell people you're fasting. People should not know you're fasting. It's good if you want to tell somebody, but never. You don't have to. Don't do it. Keep it to yourself when you fast. Don't let the whole world know you're fasting, but fast, and don't look like you're fasting. Make sure your face wash, your hair is done. You look good when you go outside and you're fasting. Don't make people look at you look like you're starving. Because the one thing I noticed that people who are not people who like the false teaching, people who make a mockery of this, who don't really understand it, when they fast, they look it, and it looks shameful on all of us who are God's children. Do what God say. Don't look like you're starving and like you ain't got no place to live. Like you just look broke down. Just make sure you have clean clothes on, your face wash, you look presentable. Even if you're fasting for mad days, don't look it, right? And have one-on-one time with God. Go in your little room, even, treat your bedside like a prayer closet. You're supposed to have that one-on-one prayer time with God. That's what makes us warriors. It's like, yeah, it's good that we pray in a group, but the battle is not won. Okay? We fighting a war. You fight the war in your bedroom, on the floor, on your knees, by yourself. Because when all of us have those one-on-ones with God, it makes us individually build up. You know what I mean? So when we go together as a group and pray, it's more powerful. All right? Now I'm going to tell you about the prayer. Just like how the old fire prayer is. Because every night before my daughter go to bed, I pray with her. And she knows, she knows it's coming. Like, I turn the TV off. I said, it's time for bed, baby. She goes right down on her knees and she said, oh, Father. I'm like, oh, snap. All right. And we say the Lord's Prayer, and she goes to bed. Just like how the prayer is set out, it teaches us how to pray. You lift up the Father, you thank Him, you give Him all the praise, and then you bring yourself to Him. You ask Him to forgive you. You bring what you have to bring to the table. You talk about other people. Pray for them. Pray for yourself. Pray for other people. And then you give God thanks for all the things that he did. And then you thank God for the place that he's preparing for you. Because that's the main part. This is not our home. This is not our home. So you have to thank God. So he's preparing a place for us. So when that we are preparing ourselves for, just like he's preparing a place for us. You see what I mean? So that way we mentally ready, physically ready, and spiritually ready. Because the main purpose of all this is darkness is coming soon. Darkness is coming soon. And when it comes, it's going to be suddenly. The sun is going to die and the moon is going to die. And God is going to turn his face and he's going to take his children. This place is going to go back to void the way it was from in the beginning. Before he gave the world his light. Before he separated the waters. Before he made the firmament. Before he even put land here. He showed that he is light. So when he take the lesser lights, the greater light, only light left is him. And then when he turned his face for his Sabbath day and take his children, darkness is going to fall here. Okay? That's why we have to, that's why we have a Sabbath day. That's why we keep the Sabbath. That's why we pray. That's why we fast. Because his Sabbath day is coming. His first Sabbath day with Adam and Eve, he went to rest and the devil came and tempted them. And then Noah was he said what he said, thank God. God say, all right. Because he probably was thinking about his Sabbath day. Who knows? I don't know. But in my heart, I feel like he said, all right, I'm going to give human beings another chance. And then he sent a rainbow and say, you know what? I'm not going to fund this place again. But I'm going to burn this mother. I'm going to burn this mug. I'm going to burn this mug down. I'm going to burn this mug down. Mother Nature going to get burned. She going to burn up. If you continue with sin, because I remember I destroyed this place because of sin. But if y'all sin one more time, and it goes beyond than what this is, I'm going to burn this place up. All right? But I'm going to send some rules and regulations. This is, so you can understand. You got choices, but I'm going to send some stuff. So you know that what I don't like. So you know what I don't like. Don't do those stuff. All right? So you can have a chance. Then he send them laws. And then people reject it. All right. So y'all rejecting it because y'all probably don't really understand how to live it. So I'm going to send my son so he can teach you how to live it. So when the time come, right? And y'all don't even have to make no more sacrifices anymore. All right? I'm going to send my son. So when push comes to shove, but it's time for me to go rest again. All right? Y'all have a chance to come with me. So this time, I'm just going to separate the people who good from the people who bad. All right? So I'm just going to destroy the bad people. I'm just going to take all the ones who really cherish and love me to come with me. That's it. That's basically it. The purpose of his son is to give us a chance so we can go be with him on the next Sabbath day. All right? So don't be confused. The Sabbath day is coming. And that's the main purpose of this whole Bible. That we understand the purpose of us being here is to love God, to love God, love each other so we can leave here. Because he already told us the things he don't like, and he showed us, send his son to show us how to live, since, you don't really understand the commandments like that. All right, so I'm going to show you how to live it, since you already know what I don't like. So the man of the law came. Yahshua, man of the law. The man of the law made the word flesh. He made the word flesh. He made God's commandments flesh. Because he came and told us how to live it. Ain't that something? So we too can leave our flesh body and go to our spiritual body and go be with God. Basically it. So that's basically what we're preparing for. So this is why the prayer room is so important. You know why it's called a prayer room? It's your room. You go on your knees. You lock your door to pray with our Father. You understand that? Because when all of us go on our knees in our room separately, that's a battle. No, honey, that's the war. We're fighting the war. Why? Because individually we are ready. So when we come together, prayers are more powerful. Because why? We're praying for one another while we're praying for ourselves. Because when we come together and we give praise to God and we pray, it's like incense to God's smell. It's like music to God's ears. It's refreshing. It's like fresh air to God. It's like we're making him breathe. If you understand what I mean, like we fulfill him when we do that. It's like we're giving back to him as much as he bless us with stuff. It's like an even exchange. Like, look how, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And it's not even because he give us more than we give. That's why we pray. We have to pray and give thanks and pray for one another. Because that day is going to come when he going to separate his children. And honey, I know y'all want to be one of them. So for us to be, we have to be prepared. And for us to be prepared individually in our hearts, we have to make sure our temple is ready. That's your body, honey. Because remember, there's a spiritual body that have to live after this. And you have to figure out, where are you going to live? You going to be with God, or... Because he's the only one that can kill the flesh and the spirit. Your spiritual body and your physical body. So that's something to think about. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. To know that his Sabbath day is coming. I want to be with him on this Sabbath day. I do. I look forward for this day. Look how long he's been watching and listening and taking care of us. Look how long. Look how long. And the devil down here making a poppy show of us. Just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Can you imagine? It's sore to his eyes seeing the things that we're doing down here. It's like throwing salt in somebody's face when they give you everything you need. And for us not knowing and not going, trying to understand. That must be painful to see. You know what I mean? I don't like that. To know that people that you made and you love, and you give them choices, and to know that, hey, my day is coming soon, and He give you time to prepare for it. So when it comes, you have no excuse. He's coming. And then we have to be prepared for it. So thank God for Yahshua. Thank Yahshua. Because they hanged him on the tree. That's something else I want to talk about. The mix-up in the gospel. What's separating us. When I found this out yesterday, right? I'm like, this is what bringing confusion. This is why people are fighting and arguing this whole time. I'm going to talk about it in my next video. My whole point of this is to piss y'all off. For y'all to see that they've been lying to us. For you to wake up. I want you to see that you've been lied to. So you hold on to your faith even more. It's time for us to go home. I'm ready to go home. That is all. You have a great one, love. And may God bless each and every one of you.